small story. Just 2 weeks ago, everybody was helpless, afraid, because we had no hope left in the series. Narumi was getting hit by daikaiju, and he's not even supposed to be able to get touched. But Kafka's back. Kafka's back. Now, chapter 82 gets us right back immersed in the action, with Rin still on her knees being dumbfounded at what Kaiju number 13 has done to not only her platoon, but Tachibana's platoon at the same exact time. Number 13 is still holding Tachibana by his neck, and Rin is realizing to herself that this is a complete lost cause. Kaiju number 13 has better offensive capabilities, is faster, and there is just no way for us to truly keep up with this daikaiju at this moment. While she's thinking that to herself, number 13 slowly starts grabbing Tachibana's neck harder and causes a fracture in his mandible as well as in his C2 vertebrae. In the medical world, if you get a fracture in your C2 vertebrae, another name for it sometimes is known as the hangman's fracture, and I'll just kind of let you infer into why you think that it's called that, or you can go do some research and figure out why it's called that. But at that moment when that vertebrae was fractured, things were almost done for Tachibana.
Boy, if you don't get...
Right before Tachibana is finally taken out by Kaiju number 13, Rin snaps out of it because somebody yells over the microphone to her that Rin, you need to provide backup for Tachibana before he is destroyed by number 13. From here, Rin drops everything, stands up, yells for Tachibana to get out of there, and unleashes her combat power to 73%. Cool to finally see Rin's unleashed combat percentage, and who knows if normally it's higher, lower, since she's been in this fight for a while now, and since she's just in the state that she is in, maybe she normally can push out higher percentages than that 73%. Not for me to speculate about right now. As she's shooting off that Gatling gun at Kaiju number 13, number 13 drops Tachibana and sprints straight for Rin as she's shooting the Gatling gun. And from here is where we see number 13 literally treating Rin like a rag doll during this chapter. And it was hard to read a lot of these panels and just look at a lot of these panels watching Rin get beat up the way that she was. The last time that I felt this type of feeling, this gut feeling of dread seeing somebody just get their ass whooped, was literally whenever Kaiju number 9 was fighting Reno and Iharu way back when, like chapter 12? And Kaiju number 9 just kept on shooting those finger bullets at Reno, and there was nothing that Reno could do other than lay on the ground until Kafka finally pulled up to save Reno from number 9. You kind of get very similar glimpses here of what's going on, with Rin really struggling and really utterly about to be destroyed, but Kafka steps in and saves Rin. Same exact thing. Reno is being destroyed by Kaiju number 9 and utterly about to be destroyed, right? But Kafka steps in and saves him from Kaiju number 9. So these were two very much so similar moments, and the feel was very similar in them too. But after Kaiju number 13 charges over and punches Rin for the first time, that first punch is so strong that it not only knocks Rin into a building, but the punch actually destroys the Gatling gun that Rin was using on number 13 right beforehand. Once she gets punched into the building, we also get snapped into a flashback moment. And let me tell you, whenever I saw a Rin flashback in the middle of a fight, I got scared this chapter, y'all, because we all know what shonen flashbacks mean in the middle of a fight. And I could not have Rin going away from this story already. But in this flashback, we gotten some insight into what has really driven Rin. And from the time that she stepped into the Japan Defense Force, she has wanted nothing but to become stronger and become a captain in order to get the acknowledgement from Jin Narumi. That's all she's really wanted, just for Jin Narumi to notice her, right? All Jin Narumi ever really notices whenever he's been serving in the Defense Force is strength. And we've even seen that with Kikoru. Whenever he talked to Kikoru, he saw how strong she was, but none of that mattered. To Narumi, he needs results. All that strength means nothing if you're not producing results alongside of that. So, to Rin, and in her eyes, she was just always out of Narumi's view. She wasn't strong enough, she wasn't good enough. So with that in mind, her whole purpose in the Defense Force was to train, was to focus her efforts and better herself so that she could finally get noticed by Jin Narumi. And through those efforts, she was noticed and she got appointed as a platoon leader by Narumi because he noticed her feats. I loved looking at all those panels during the flashback. One of the panels that was crazy to me, y'all, is that Rin had two 25 kilogram plates on that bench bar whenever she was hitting the bench press. Most of y'all watching this video right now can't bench press more than Rin Shinonome, so I don't want to hear nothing. You can go in the comments and say what you want down below, but we're gonna do it like this. If you cannot, what is it? So that's like 55 pounds. Sheesh. If you cannot bench press over 250 pounds like Rin, then you gotta leave a like and a comment down below. But on a real note, Rin breaks out of that flashback and realizes to herself that it has been not only an honor to be appointed a platoon leader by Narumi, but also to serve the citizens of Japan underneath the defense force. And from there, she sets off on more or less a martyr mission. She pulls out a grenade, throws it at number 13, and the grenade actually turns out to be a freezing grenade. And I don't know about y'all, but to me, this was a low-key sign from Matsumoto that Reno is going to be making an appearance or a reappearance back into this story very, very soon. That is the one person who has the ice affinity, right? But Rin throws out that ice grenade, tries to freeze number 13 in place, and then starts shooting at him. She knows that it's not going to be enough to take it out, but she can at least gather as much research and intel as possible before ultimately she would get defeated by number 13. Number 13 breaks out of the ice grenade like it's nothing, comes right behind Rin and punches Rin down through the highway that she's standing above, basically an overpass highway. And Rin from there is on the ground thinking to herself that I am the platoon leader of the 1st Division. Like, risking my life to protect this nation is what my duty is. But even though that's the case, I don't want to die. I'm afraid to die. And that was, boy, like, that's the panels I be talking about, bro. Like, Matsumoto was good with you. I didn't need to see that panel. But, like we've been saying, Kafka came in right here. And right before she was about to be destroyed, she said to herself, I don't want to be rewarded. I just want to get stronger and prettier and chase after that man. And we know that she's talking about Narumi as number 13 throws its final punch to take out Rin. Whenever 13 throws that punch, it pulls its fist away and Rin isn't there. And then you just see Kafka holding Rin and walking away. And Rin looks up at Kafka and says, what are you doing here? And Kafka said, I know that you told me to stay in the back lines, but I'm disobeying that order. And Chapter 83 is gonna be lit, y'all. I don't even need to speculate that much about what's gonna happen. But if I was gonna make any predictions for Chapter 83, first off, Kafka pulled off suave as shit right here, bro. Like, whenever Kafka grabbed Rin and walked away, I literally got goosebumps watching Kafka do this. This is not the same Kafka that we know. Nowhere near the same Kafka that we know, right? Him being this confident in himself shows that this is what all this training has come to. All this training with Hoshina, the training with Kikoru, realizing that his comrades still have all that trust inside of him. Kafka's ready to put it all on the line in this war against the Kaiju. And honestly, my prediction for Chapter 83 is that Kafka is not even going to have to fully transform into Kaiju number 8 in order to beat number 13. I think that just with the squadron style training that Kafka's done, alongside him just naturally getting stronger, Kafka's gonna be able to beat number 13, a daikaiju, without fully transforming. I think that would just be the most badass feat to come back and show us how much stronger Kafka's gotten during this training window. So that is my prediction for what 83 is gonna bring. Alongside of that, it'll be interesting to see like what else is going on in these other battles, right? Because even though Kafka's gonna be able to help out Tachibana and Rin, there's other captains that are very much so struggling. A Kikoru that is very much so struggling. Narumi that is very much so struggling. So I'm guessing that there's gonna be other people in our defense force that are going to assist these people that need it, and that's gonna be dope to see. So, hey, 2 weeks is gonna be a long time to see Kafka finally coming in and whooping somebody's butt, but it's gonna be worth it. So, as always, arigato mas if you watch this video. And it don't cost nothing to show me some love, bro. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're already watching the videos anyways, and other than that, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.